When the crews finished their quota of missions, if they didn't get shot down or captured, they joined a club called the Lucky Bastards Club. And I'm going to ask Scott to tell you what his last mission experience was like at the end when he celebrated finishing his quota.
I didn't expect that question, but that's great. We were always very glad to get your last mission in because that was a chance to get away from the continuous risk you were taking. And I had very much disliked the food we were getting overseas because they shipped to us mainly chickens for food. And somebody had the concept in those days that you don't eviscerate the chickens before you ship them frozen. And so they shipped chickens to us overseas, which still had the intestines in them. And sometimes those shipments would sit on a dock long enough to warm up. And by the time the shipments reached us, the chickens actually stunk. And so the chefs or the cooks in the kitchen would eviscerate the chickens and then soak them in salt water overnight so that they could cook them the next day and they would be close to palatable. Well, this gave us a very bad impression of the food on that. But I had promised my crew that when I finished my mission, I would get them fresh chickens and fry up fresh chickens for them. So I went around the air base and collected chickens and took them back and dressed them and cut them up in pieces and fried them. And everybody loved them, but the New Yorker people, the people from New York State, had said that chicken wasn't fit to eat unless it had been aged. And they had never had really fresh chicken. And they said they wouldn't eat it. Fresh chicken wasn't for good to eat. And when they started smelling that fresh fried chicken, they decided they wanted to taste it. And after they tasted it, I couldn't share it as well as I wanted to around the group because they were so glad to get to it. So it was an interesting experience for me.